Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Over the past 75 years, more than 10,000 chemicals have entered our food supply, but the EU allows just 300 additives. At Thrive Market, we prioritize quality, banning over 1,000 ingredients found in conventional grocery stores. Our Healthy Swap scanner helps you find better versions of your pantry essentials without the junk, dyes, or fillers, and everything is delivered right to your doorstep. So shop at a grocery store that actually cares about your health at thrivemarket.com/get started for 30% off your first order and a free $60 gift.
Hello, everyone watching. It's your girl, Gabrielle Crichlow, owner and director of A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Topics. Sorry, my phone just made some noise. So if you are not familiar with this web series, this is a web series where we like to talk real talk about things in our purview. So things in education, employment, finance, public health, mental health, any kind of health, or anything else that is steamy. We like to take one single topic and do a deep dive into it. So we like to get, down to the nitty gritty of it. And, it can get heated, it can get hot, but that's what we're about. So, yeah. So today is a continuation of our homeschooling week, but we are starting to wrap it up pretty soon. So depending on when you're watching this episode, on December 16, 2021, we had our Homeschool 101 virtual panel, and it, a lot of people showed up, so that was awesome right there. And it is available right now for the replay. So you could go to our Facebook page, go to the video section, or you could go to our YouTube channel, and the replay is available for your viewing. Oh, and if you just so happen to be watching this on Twitter, you would have to scan our feed, but the episode is there as well. So thank you for all those that attended the panel, and please come back for the replay. But yes, so this episode that we're doing right now is a continuation of our live streaming. So this episode is a continuation of our homeschooling theme, which brings us to the topic for today is homeschooling part 5. So I spoke to 4 other people on this topic. So please check out our social media wherever you are to watch the other 4 videos. But we are doing part 5 right now. And I have a guest with me who's going to help me with this conversation. So her name is Shauna Anderson, and I'm going to tell you about her. So who is Shauna Anderson? Let me tell you who she is. So she has a long resume, but I'm only going to discuss a fraction of it. So she is in Sacramento, California. She is passionate about innovation in the education world and the future of learning. And she has a resume and digital portfolio. It's a work in progress as she is constantly learning and growing. So if you want to see her resume, reach out to her directly. But these are her key expertises. But these are the things that she has multiple keys of expertise. I think that's how you say it. But this is what it is. So she has leadership. She's a team leader and community builder. She has been for 17 years in a remote first organization. She's a startup founder. She is the co-founder of U School and Andersonia Wine. She's a teacher, expert in EdTech, home education, online instruction, and distance learning for all ages, all subjects, all educational philosophies, and all learning styles. That's a lot of alls, y'all. Community builder. She's created, managed, and grown numerous communities. She's a music performer, experienced touring musician for over 30 years. She is a technical and creative writer. She's written numerous articles, manuals, and short stories. And finally, she is a thought leader. She's had interviews, articles, and videos on ideas in alternative education. So I am very much looking forward to talking to her. And I am going to bring her to the stage right now.
Hi.
Hi, Shauna. Welcome to the show. How you doing
Thanks.
today?
Great. That was a great introduction. Thank you. All the expertises. Awesome.
Yeah. So, thank you for joining me again during my homeschooling week theme. And, I want to hear your homeschooling story. It's a very interesting one. So I would like you to divulge. So I'm going to pass the baton over to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Our homeschooling journey is a weird and twisted and wild ride. So, but it's very exciting.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on chumbacasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at chumbacasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's chumbacasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Over the past 75 years, more than 10,000 chemicals have entered our food supply, but the EU allows just 300 additives. At Thrive Market, we prioritize quality, banning over 1,000 ingredients found in conventional grocery stores. Our Healthy Swap scanner helps you find better versions of your pantry essentials without the junk, dyes, or fillers, and everything is delivered right to your doorstep. So shop at a grocery store that actually cares about your health at thrivemarket.com/get started for 30% off your first order and a free $60 gift.
We came to California about 20 years ago. My husband and I have 6 children, and right when we came to California, we both got hired at a public charter school, personalized learning school. And this school is non-classroom based, and it's unique to California. There's a bunch of schools like ours in California, but that model is unique to California. And what it is students learn at home, and their parents are their teachers day to day, and they're overseen by a credentialed educator like myself that comes in and just kind of oversees, documents the learning that's happening. So we've been doing that for quite a few years, and raising our children. When we had our children in private Catholic school for a while, our oldest was in 4th grade and then on down. And she was really struggling. She had a lot of anxiety. She doubled over in pain when we would take her to school. The commute to school was about 45 minutes. And then we would leave at like 6:45, get home at like 4:15, and then there'd be hours of homework, and it was just a lot. So she had a lot of anxiety. My second daughter, who was in 2nd grade at the time, she was not reading yet. And the solution that the school provided for us was, well, you can come in early for tutoring or stay late for tutoring. And that just wasn't going to work for us. We had 4 other kids at home in various stages of infancy and toddlerness. So we decided to pull our oldest out of school and actually just pull them all out. My husband and I had been working for this charter school for about 6 years or so. So we figured, well, we know how to do this. We're credentialed educators. We should be able to homeschool our kids. So we did. It was hard at first. Well, it was hard, hills and valleys, we'll say. But the anxiety went away for my oldest daughter. My second oldest daughter, who struggled with reading, she still struggles, but we were able to give her the attention that she needs. And then we spent about 7 years homeschooling. And this model of education that we were both involved in with our charter school is just, I've seen such amazing things with this model of having the parents do the teaching and picking the curriculum, and then the educators just kind of acting as a facilitator or a guide or a advisor for the family. And we would, we stay with the family from when they're enrolled in the school until they graduate, ideally. So I really just saw this model as, I just wonder why no one else does this, because it works really great for a lot of kids. So we homeschooled for about 6-7 years, and our children are, well, let's see, the oldest now is almost 18. Then we have 15, 14, 13, 9, and 6 currently. That's how old they are now. When in about 2019, I saw one of the educators that I follow and admire was starting some sort of ed tech company, and she was asking for help with it. And so I thought that would be a great learning opportunity, and reached out and jumped on board trying to help. She was building a marketplace where parents could list classes, like moms could list classes in person, like homeschool moms, and other homeschool moms could sign up for those classes. So kind of like I don't know if anyone's familiar with OutSchool, but kind of like an OutSchool for in-person classes in local areas. So she was building this and trying to make this go. And there was a bunch of us that kind of jumped on board to help. And then it was about February 2020 where I said, I can't do this kind of startup. I can't do my full-time job, and I can't homeschool the kids all at once. So I decided to put the kids in school, the littlest kids. The older kids were in high school already. In our family, when they get to be in high school, we allow them to make the choice of whether they want to go to high school or continue homeschooling. So our oldest had decided to go to high school. And then so I said, let's find a great school. We found an amazing school that's a charter school. And it's a Waldorf school, which is a great philosophy that works really well for our family. And they were able to get in. And that was February 2020. And then a month later, almost to the day, the pandemic hit, March 13th, and they came back home with us, which I was like, really? But it was fine, and it was a blessing. I think we had an easy time I will say an easier time during the pandemic, because we're all used to being home. My kids were used to learning from home. My husband and I have worked from home forever. So it was an easy transition for us. And I know it was hard for a lot of families. So I continued with U-School it was unschool.school at the time. And when the pandemic hit, the lady that started the company decided to leave. She wanted to close down the company. And there was a couple of us that were like, no, I think this is a really good idea. So we stayed on board. Neil Marcaccio and I kind of kept the lights on. At that time, for the marketplace, teachers didn't want to teach virtually. We were trying to convince them to teach online, and no one wanted to. And that was at the beginning of the pandemic. And then I think after about 4, 5, 6 months, everyone realized that teaching online needed to be a thing. So we kept plugging away with the marketplace. It just wasn't really going anywhere. And as we were talking to people, telling them about our company, I always explained what I did with my day job, which was being these advisors for families going through the homeschool journey. And no matter where I talked to people or who I talked with, everyone was saying, like, that's what you should be doing. That's what you need to do. So just kind of thought about that a while. And eventually, just this past August, we decided to kind of shut down our old company and start a new company. And the company is U-School, and we're educational consultants for families that are wanting to homeschool, but perhaps need a little guidance or don't really know where to start. And next year is going to be our big push to kind of see if this is going to work. I think it is going to work. But already people are finding us online and just asking for help. I think so many people right now are struggling in certain education situations, whatever side they're on. They're unhappy with the education that's provided. So really trying to help families who want to homeschool but don't necessarily know how, or families who are in crisis with traditional schooling, helping them, guiding them. And so we hope to take this to the rest of the country with U-School. So currently our kids my oldest is homeschooling now. She's going to be graduating next semester. And my second daughter is in traditional high school. She loves it. She has an IEP. She's super into art, and she's doing really well in that situation. And then the 4 littlest are currently in the Waldorf Charter School. So,
how to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to chumbacasino.com.
chumbacasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit chumbacasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Throughout our homeschool journey, I think it's just important to just recognize where you are at as a parent and what your capacity is. Sometimes it's just homeschooling doesn't really fit in with your family at a certain point in time. Sometimes kids do better at school. I definitely am not I don't want to bash public school. I think there's a place for school and kids that learn well in that situation. But my goal, my mission, my passion is really to teach people that there are options out there and that you can homeschool your kids, even if you're afraid to, or if you don't think you're a good teacher, or if you think your kid and you are going to butt heads all day long. You can do it. You might need a little help. And that's where we try to come in at U-School. So that's kind of my journey. I don't know what else you want me to say, Gabrielle, but it has been a journey, and it's going to continue to be a journey because the littlest is 6 still. So maybe at some point when the older When the older ones kind of launch, I'll have a little bit more time to homeschool. But we do like to encourage our kids to have ownership in their education. So if they want to go to school, if they want to homeschool, if they want to pursue passions, we want to be open to that. So
Thank you so much for that. Whoa, sorry. Woo. So I find you an interesting case because you, compared to the other people I spoke to, they've homeschooled throughout. But you are interesting because you have a mixture of educational styles. So you're you're homeschooling the oldest, and then the oldest child, and then the younger children, you put them in more traditional schooling. So I'm wondering if you can talk about why you didn't well, what was happening with the oldest one that you stuck it out with homeschooling, and let's just do one kid at a time. So, what was happening with the oldest one that you decided to keep homeschooling her?
Yeah, that's a great question. Our oldest, so when she got to be ninth grade, she had done her ninth grade through ninth grade homeschooling. And then she said, Mom, I really want to try out traditional high school. I really want to give it a shot. I want to see what it's like. And so we had the conversation of like, well, why, and she said, well, I just want to be around other kids. And like, well, that's an important thing, but that's not really a great reason to, go to school, in my opinion. And we talked some more, and she said, I really need structure. I really need to sit in a class. I really need the accountability. I'm not a very good self-directed learner, which I thought was very, I was really proud of her for that awareness of how she learned, or what kind of learning she did well at. So she went to school, and then actually right around this time, it was Christmas time, she had sort of a very serious mental health situation. I mentioned before when we homeschooled her, she had very bad anxiety. And so she actually went into the hospital for mental health, and really struggled. This was a new thing for us. We'd never been through this. So that was very scary. No one really talked about it. This is pre-pandemic, right? So mental health and kids struggling, people were just starting to talk about it. But I found myself kind of like asking people, like, what do I do? Where do I go? What's happening? And there was not a lot of information out there. It was very scary. And my generation, growing up, we didn't really talk about mental health issues that much. You didn't say if you went to a therapist or if you were on medicine. There's a lot of stigma. So that was December of 2019. And so that was another reason kind of where we decided as a family to put the younger kids in school too, because we were struggling with trying to support our oldest through that mental health crisis, really. And so she learned a lot. All of that, going through that, all of the therapy, all of the information we were just trying to find out about, that was all really good learning. And I would argue it's probably some of the best learning, just learning about your mental health, learning how to take care of yourself, learning how to cope with difficult situations. So for her, a lot of that learning was, psychology. We did a lot of psychology classes, and just a lot of therapy. So she was in and out of the hospital about 5 times in that whole journey. It was very challenging as a family, but the great thing was that we all just really surrounded her. We all talked about it. We didn't keep anything hidden. We discussed about how your brain is kind of part of your body. And so I had a talk with, I remember sitting our littlest down, who's 6, and just, she was very scared. What's happening? And just talking to her and being like, if you broke your leg, we'd bring you to the hospital and you'd see a doctor, and you might have to do some therapy. You might have to take some medicine, but we'd all be there to help you heal. And that's what we're doing for your sister. Her brain is broken kind of right now. And so we need to take care of it by going to the doctor, taking some medicine, doing some therapy, and just kind of normalizing it, I think, was very helpful for our family. So when she's doing great now, I want to say she is 100 times better than she was, and I think it's due in fact to the amazing therapy that she's had. So she decided she wanted to go back to school, to traditional school, the high school that she was at. And she went, this was the beginning of this year, this school year, and she went for a couple weeks and she's like, this is dumb. I'm like, yeah, it kind of is dumb. So she's homeschooling now and will graduate hopefully early. So for her, she is very, she loves to work, and she does great working. She's an incredibly hard worker, and that's helped her see purpose and have had structure to her day, to have a job. So all of that, all of the job experience that she's had has been able to be transferred to work experience and high school credit for her, which has been great. So that's daughter number 1, and she is she's turning 18 in a couple of weeks, and then graduating definitely by May, if not sooner. And I don't know if she'll go to college yet, but we certainly talk about all of the options. And so that's daughter number 1. Daughter number 2 was the one that was struggling in 2nd grade as a reader. And her story is really unique and cool, because when we brought her home to homeschool, I could tell that there was something, maybe a processing something or other with her reading. Spelling was really bad. Didn't know, maybe it was dyslexia, but we never really had formal diagnosis. So what was great about homeschooling was she just worked at the level that she could, which was always like a couple of grade levels behind, but she always made her progress. She was just a little bit slower. We had a lot of discussions with her about just everyone has their challenges, your challenges are different from your older sister's challenges, and you're great at certain things. Some things are harder, and that's just kind of the way it is, and we will support you in whatever way we need to do. So she went through her homeschooling journey just very confident in who she was. She's a very caring and kind, sweet kid who was always taking care of all the babies, and just a great leader in our homeschool groups with the kids playing. And so she was very very confident in just in who she was. She's also an athlete. And so she does rowing, and she's extremely gifted in that. She's very strong, and she's got like the personality of a captain. And so she's only a freshman right now, but she probably will be captain when she gets to be senior. So when she graduated 8th grade, which was during the pandemic, distance learning through the Waldorf school was very difficult for her. It was hard for her to be on Zoom. She didn't really know a lot of the kids because it was a new school for her, because we had just started school right before the pandemic. So for her, when she got to be 9th grade, she wanted to go to the local high school. And when she went into the local high school, we requested an IEP just to check what, if there was a processing disorder. So they did an IEP and found out that she really did need support. And but one of the great things that they found on her when they were assessing her was that her adaptability scores, which are kind of like the scores of like how you kind of like your confidence really, and how you navigate difficult situations. Her adaptability score was almost through the roof, which was so cool. So while she has struggles learning in different areas, she is an amazing kid and really, really loves being in the school that she's at right now. Will she come back to homeschooling? Possibly, if she wants to. She took an art class this semester, and she did amazing. Like, I posted her artwork on my Twitter account and in my Facebook. And in Facebook, she got a ton of like, wow, it's amazing that I was amazed that she did it. So, if she wants to pursue art as a career in some way, maybe she will come back and homeschool. But I will leave that decision to her, and I'm here to support her if that's the route she wants to go. The next kids, let's see. Daughter number 3 and 4 are super different. Daughter number 3 is very introverted. She loved distance learning and learning online. She did much better, but she also has a really good group of friends, so she's excited to be back at school. She's doing rowing, loves that. So she wants to go to traditional high school when she gets into 9th grade next year. She's also very good at, just like, she's a very creative person too. So we'll see.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on chumbacasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at chumbacasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's chumbacasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
If she wants to homeschool or go to regular school. Daughter number 4 is very social, very outgoing, very loves being in the classroom, loves friends, very, very social. I would say the most social out of any of our kids. And she really enjoys and loves her class. And loves rowing as well. So we'll see. And then the little guys, I have a 9-year-old boy and a 6-year-old daughter, and they're doing great in school. They love it. I don't know. I think if maybe my capacity lightens up a bit, I will think about homeschooling them. But it's just, I think I'm just very open to different seasons in life, and also very open to, having that discussion with the kids and helping them to own their learning. I think some people that are like, I'm never going to homeschool my kids, or I'm never going to send my kids to public school. I think it's just, I think you just set yourself up for feeling bad about a decision maybe that you have to make. Maybe you're going to have to homeschool at some point. Or maybe you're going to have to send your kids to school at some point. So what's the best situation, and how can you have an open mindset about that? So I think that's kind of what I'm all about, is just whatever works for the family, whatever works for the kids, whatever's the best situation for that kid in that moment in time, and for that family in that moment of time, I think is really kind of the best way to go, I'll say, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. So, can you talk about what it's like having to deal with so many different personalities under one roof? It's not, you know, all of your kids are introverted, or all of them are extroverted, or all of them are homeschooled, or all of them are in the charter school. It's one is here, one is there, one acts like this, one acts like that, and you have to deal with all of those personalities. So, can you talk more about how you deal with that?
Yeah. If only they were all the same, and you got a manual when they were born, and you could just deal with them all the same way, right? But no. But that's the exciting thing. I think the hardest thing as a parent really is to kind of let go of the idea of who you want your kids to be, and let go of that control, and really help them to become the people that they are already. Um, and so that's been a hard realization for me, and I'm still learning how to do that. By no means have that figured it out, but it is really hard when they're all different, when they all need different things. Um, I would say it's a lot easier to homeschool when it was easy for us to homeschool when they were little, because we learned mostly the same things. We did our English and our math were everyone was on different levels. So those were the things I did separately with each kid. But then, like, our science and our history and our art, gym, all of those things, they kind of all did together. They took art classes together, they did theater together, parkour together. And then, so there are things that they could do together. And for the older kids, I would always kind of make the assignments a little bit more intricate, or have more to do than the littler kids, where they would maybe just do coloring, or they would work together on a project, and the little kids would do the easy things and the bigger kids would do the hard things. So that's a way to do it when you have multiple kids. As they get older, it's a lot easier too, I think, because the older kids, if they're very self-directed, are very good at just getting their work done. And I would say, for some advice, is just to really cultivate in your kids the awareness of what type of learner they are, so that they can tell you, Mom, I really need to be in a class, or I really do not learn well online, or, I love textbooks, I love reading, or I hate to read, I need audiobooks. So helping them to understand what type of learning styles they are, what type of learner they are, what situations they learn best in is really helpful. And you could start that when they're really little. Like, wow, you are a great self-directed learner. Look at you doing your homework all by yourself, and I didn't even have to tell you. So encouraging them and speaking that language, and just always giving them encouragement in what they're doing, and speaking into the possibilities of what they could be. Like, wow, you are a fantastic artist. Look how hard you worked at that. Maybe you're going to be an artist someday. And planting those seeds for them. But teaching multiples is hard. It's easier if your kids are, if they are self-directed. If they're not, it's hard to really focus and sit down with them. It is kind of like a full-time job. But what I loved about homeschooling is the efficiency of it. So what took 8 hours in the classroom or at school maybe took 2 hours for my kids. So we'd maybe spend about 30 minutes on math, 30 minutes on reading each. And then, we would do a science lesson, history lesson, field trip, park day. So it's way more efficient. You don't have to sit down at the dining room table and do algebra all day long. God, that would be miserable for you and for your kids. It was miserable for me. I didn't want to do that. So teaching multiples, try and learn subject matter. Like if you're learning about California history, everyone learns about that, and you can weave that into English and math and science. Make it more efficient for yourself so that you can get more done. And learning doesn't have to happen between 8 and 3, right? It can happen anytime. I did a lot of school with them at night and on the weekends when I wasn't working. So, and another blessing about having them all home was that they really developed strong relationships with each other. Like their friendships with each other really grew. And it was so amazing to watch and to see. And they're so close now. I mean, they had their fights for sure, siblings, but they are all very, very close. So I think it's a great thing when you have a lot of kids to homeschool them together.
Awesome. And another thing I wanted to touch on is that you said you homeschooled all of your children and you were operating your business at the same time, but then when your business started to pick up, you decided to send some of them back to traditional schooling. So it sounds like your business influenced your decision to homeschool. Not to say that you prioritized one over the other, but it sounds like your business had an influence, had an impact on your decision as well. Oh, excuse me. Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, totally. That's like one of those hard questions, right? That's like the hot topics. Because my business is helping people homeschool, and yet, I'm not homeschooling all of my kids, right? And so that was a really hard decision, and it, there's a lot of guilt still, and I think as parents, a lot of us just have guilt that we can't homeschool, or we have to send our kids to school, and some people would love to homeschool, but maybe they don't have the capacity, or their job doesn't allow it, or they're just too tired, or they don't know what to do. So yes, the kids went to school, it was definitely not like, you're going to school. It was definitely a decision that we talked about. And we always knew that if things didn't work out, they could always homeschool. Homeschooling is like this safety net that they could always come back to if it didn't work out. And the school that the younger kids are in is a Waldorf school. So it's very focused on art and music, nature. It's just a very beautiful philosophy that we kind of that we tried to do at home as well. So they felt comfortable in that situation. And their classes stay together with the teacher throughout their journey through school, which is a lot like what we do at our school as well. So that was a hard decision, but also I want to model for other people that it's okay. Homeschooling is hard, and you might not be able to do it now, or you might have to not homeschool your kids at some point in time. There's a lot of families that go through health crisis that sometimes school is just a better option for them during that crisis when kids are, just when there's not a lot of capacity at home, I'll say. And I just want to help people to not feel guilty about that and to recognize that there are different options out there, and that sometimes school might be better for one of your kids or some of your kids. And to have one of my missions at U-School is really to be a trusted advisor for families, to help them on those educational journeys, to get to know the family, to get to know the kids, to be that advocate for them, like just to help them and walk with them through the hills and the valleys that every family experiences. And there are a lot of things that you can do that are kind of like homeschool-y enrichment type activities that kids can explore while they're still at school too. So I just want to model that for families that, sometimes homeschooling isn't the right choice for whatever reason in that particular period of time. If U-School doesn't take off, will I go back to homeschooling? Probably. I really enjoyed having them home. So we'll see. And we'll see, maybe some of the older kids want to go back to homeschooling too when they get into high school. So I want to be able to give them that freedom to have that choice. For me, for our family, it's very important for them to own their learning and make those choices. And I think high school is a great time for them to explore that.
Awesome. So we are starting to wind down now. So do you have any final advice that you'd like to share to the viewers? Any words of wisdom that you would like to impart?
I wish, like that manual for the kids, I wish there was like one great piece of advice that I could just say and would just solve all of the problems for everybody. But I think, as we all know, we're all just so unique.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Every kid literally is different. Every family is different. Every year is different. And so just giving yourself the grace and just the peace to be able to make decisions based on all of those factors. And, I just want to be able to help families understand what they can and can't do. I want to be able to help them to explore this alternative learning paths if they want to. So I guess uh, just be at peace with whatever decisions you make. I think as moms, we always kind of have that anxiety of, am I messing my kid up? But no matter what situation your kids are in, whether they're in school or homeschooling, you kind of always have that feeling. And so if I can help to manage that anxiety a little bit, I would love to help and serve families in that way. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for those words of wisdom. And thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Let me put up your banner.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. So, you guys, Shauna Anderson, this is her contact information. It is scrolling below. She is all over social media, it looks like. So definitely give her a follow, a like, a share, everything, all the above.
Yes.
So, Shauna, if you don't mind telling us about your business.
Sure. So Use School, we are learning advisors for your family. If you're struggling, if you're in crisis, if you are excited about homeschooling, but you just don't know where to start, we support you and help you. We learn about your family. We just help you figure out what is the best situation. We can create learning plans and learning paths for your kids, just that are specific and unique to every situation. And having worked in this space for about 17 years, myself and my teachers are very well equipped to help cut all of that clutter and get you what you need. And we have learning advisors that support struggling learners, learners with learning disabilities, gifted learners, high school, all of the above. So any kind of situation, we are happy to help and serve. If you just want to reach out to me an email, love talking to people. So happy to help.
And you heard that, guys. So if you have any questions, you want, so do you provide like one-on-one consultation?
Yep, we do. And we're going to start next year offering office hours. So kind of like a coffee chat where people can come and just ask questions, just open time. So if you need that one-on-one consulting, we offer that. We offer the office hours. We have assessments. A lot of homeschoolers don't have access to nationally normed tests that students take at school. So if you're wondering, where is my child performing, if that matters to you, some people it doesn't, but some people it does. We have access to a test that they can take. So we have assessment packages if that's something that they're interested in.
Awesome. And where do you serve? Do you just serve your state, other states?
All over. We want to serve the entire United States. We're serving families from about, I think, 7 states now. So if you have questions about how do you homeschool in your state, every state is different. We can help you with that. We can get you the right information and help you file those papers.
Okay. What about the higher regulated states, like in the Northeast? Do you do those as well? And with the paperwork and the quarterly assessments and the narratives?
Yeah, like I know New York has a lot of, New York is one of those highly regulated states. So those assessments that I was talking about count for that. A lot of states you have to have sort of a credential educator overseeing. So that's something that we do. So yeah.
That's good. Good to hear. So, you heard that. So if you're looking for one-on-one consultation, wherever you are in the United States, you want to start homeschooling, you have questions, you need help with so sorry, our next question just came to
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah.
with the paperwork, do you prepare it for the clients, or do you more guide them to do it on their own?
We've done both. I've prepared, for New York in particular, I prepared those quarterly reports for a family that I was serving. And then there's a family that also wanted to do it on their own, just kind of be showed what to do. So we can help either way. So.
You heard that, guys. As particularly for my New Yorkers, maybe you don't, you want to do it on your own. You have a personal guide, or you just want someone else to do it for you. They do that as well. So particularly for my high regulated states, I think New York,
Pennsylvania, I think is one.
Yeah. Vermont, I believe, is one.
Vermont, Massachusetts, maybe. The Northeast has a lot that are very. I think that in the Pacific Northwest, I think Washington too is is more regulated than other states. So, but New York, I think, is the worst.
Well,
who would have thought?
I live in New York,
California.
Oh man, you make me shame. Well, not shame, but
no. New York is great for other things.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you want that assistance, wherever you are, definitely reach out to uschool or uschool.com.
Yep, uschool.com. And my email, I think, is scrolling. I'm happy to get any emails. And you can message me on Facebook, wherever. I just love helping people. So thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So Shauna, thank you so much for joining me today.
It was great. Thanks for asking me to do this, and love what you do. Your shows and your hot topics are amazing, and all of the guests you have for the homeschooling series were incredible. Such great information. Holy cow. So thank you for doing that and for giving this information to families. It's so valuable.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, my dear, I'm going to place you backstage.
All right.
And you guys, it is just you and me. So we have reached the conclusion of our episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please check out our social media for more videos and clips. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And don't forget to share as well. Share with your friends. Let us know what you thought about this episode by leaving a comment in the comment section below. So whether you are watching us on YouTube, you're watching us on Facebook or on Twitter, drop us a note. Let us know what you thought about this episode. And as a reminder, we are A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. So if you'd like to learn more about us, you can check us out online. Our website is www.astepAheadtutoringservices.com. And you can also find us on social media, which you are watching wherever you are right now. So as we are already on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, you can also find us on WhatsApp and Eventbrite. So definitely check us out wherever we are and follow us, please. And so one more thing before I run away. We are also seeking financial contributions to our crowdfunding campaign on ifundwomen.com. iFundWomen is the go-to funding marketplace for women-owned businesses and the people who want to support them with access to capital, coaching, and connections. So I am going to play a small video that will explain more about that.
Hey there, have you heard of us? We're a small team of tutors here at A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. We believe that education and information should be accessible to everyone, regardless of income, race, or creed. We're dedicated to making this happen, but we need your help. Please consider donating to our crowdfunding campaign. No amount is too small. Your donation will allow us tutors to remain employed, offer free and low-cost services, and reach out to families nationwide. With your help, we can tackle the academic challenges of our students and the emotional, mental, and behavioral changes that result from these challenges. As a bonus, we can improve our communities in the process. Support us today. We're a for-profit company. Your donation may not be tax-deductible. Please consult a tax professional.
Yes, so any donation that you would like to contribute to our crowdfunding campaign will be greatly appreciated. So thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me on our kind of homeschooling theme /week. We will be wrapping this up really soon. So thank you for joining me today. Thank you for your support, and I hope to see you in the next episode. So thank you again. And now I'm signing off.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to chumbacasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.